I have been invited to Canada about 3 occasions to meet with indigenous groups in Canada. I think my first visit was in Ottawa with Chief McCready many years ago. I can't remember the exact year. And subsequent to that, we had a visit of about 40 indigenous leaders from Canada visit. But they came really on a trade investment search and discovered that there were people of indigenous peoples here. And so they made a courtesy call on us. And we collaborated. We signed a memorandum of understanding, as to work together. But somewhere along the line, we lost that contact. We may need to reopen that. And then only last year for our holiday, we had one of the chiefs from one of your nations represent Canada, on that day. That is Canada. From the United States, we have had, I think, on 2 or more occasions, the Seminoles, representative from the Seminoles, come to our events and celebrate with us. I have visited one of their reservations in Florida, and we have contacts, of course, with Suriname, with Dominica, St. Vincent, Belize, Guyana. These are some of the countries closer to us that we collaborate more with. But we have had some of the Aborigines also come to celebrate with us a few years ago, being part of our celebration. So yes, we have some contacts. Originally, the community was only comprised of members of the mission. And we knew that from the families that lived in Arima. We knew that from the records that we have existing, the church records, and see all those early families who first settled here as mission Indians, Amerindians, First Peoples, and so their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, although there will be mixtures because we live in a mixed society, but they were considered as full members because we could have traced their direct lines. Today it is a bit different. So we still have those people, and then we have people who say they are indigenous but they don't have any information. They cannot go back as we can go back how many generations, 6, 7 generations ago. They don't have that. So we have them, we accept them once they are willing to support the culture and so on. We ask them that it would be nice to do a DNA testing to see really if they have indigenous in them, but that is not compulsory, And then we have people who are friends of the First Peoples, and some of them don't have no indigenous blood at all, but they are willing to support the events in technical ways, in academic ways, in financial ways, in whatever way. So I mean, if you have that resource, you will not turn it down. So we have a category of friends of the community. So they are members, but they do not have a vote. For instance, we have the chief and the queen, and if the occasion arises that you have to elect a queen and a chief, they do not have a say in that. Those friends of the community, they don't have a say in that. It's only the members who are from the original mission and their descendants can have a vote to elect a king and a queen, a chief and a queen of the community. The first school that was built in Arima, according to our history and our records, of course, was a school for the Amerindians under the church, the Catholic Church. And that is the first school, but it was not a school where they had to live. They were with their parents, and then they went to school. Like we have school today. Students go to school in the morning and they go back home in the evening. But we did not have that situation as the residential schools in Canada. I cannot recall that either orally or hearing the elders talk about that, or we have not seen evidence of that in our history and so on.